What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing? Alright, can you guys hear this background music? Gotta check again. Let me know if you can hear that. Alright. Dang. So, I actually made the stream notification pretty early today. So, who was first? Wow! Jason was first? Was it really? I didn't put it up 8 hours early, did I? Just sworn it was like... I put it up at like... 1 or 12? It's only like 4 hours early. But Jason is first today. What's up, Jason? What's up, sir? Craig Lilly. I don't even know if these people are still here because the notification went up so much earlier today. Staying till on 7. We got Mag 78. I'm just loving all the salt. People will never be happy, even if Nvidia gave them a GPU. That was how I was almost gonna word the hypothetical at the end of the video, but then I had to kind of switch it up because I didn't want people to think that I was about to give away a GPU. I didn't want to say, what if someone gave you a GPU, and then people were thinking it was like a giveaway at the end. What's up, Shane S. Lake? What's up, Chris? Alright, KL 130. So I'm dealing with higher temps and a couple of noisy fans. Clean out my radiators and ordered some Arctic MX for... You clean it out, like you blew out the dust in the radiators? You didn't like clean out the liquid inside them, did you? Hey, does anyone know the protocol to get a Founders Edition from Best Buy? That's actually a pretty good question. So the Founders Edition, back for like the 30 series, you kind of had to know what the schedule was for Best Buy graphics card drops. They used to drop on specific days, and there used to be like a Discord, like the Falcodrin Discord or whichever, where you could join and they'll let you know when the graphics card was supposedly dropping. So I mean, let's see, 47 FE Best Buy exclusive. Let's see if we can find that. Okay. Set up here. So with regards to the RTX 4070, embargo day was today, but actual shelf like availability day is tomorrow. But let's see if we can find anything listed already. Coalition Gaming says tomorrow is another embargo day, but I think less people might be able to guess what it is. Wait. Tomorrow is embargo day for the higher end RTX 4070s. Unless you're talking about, what are you talking about, Chris? What can't people guess? Okay, yeah, so here's the 4070 Founders Edition at Best Buy coming soon. So yeah, if you want to get this, you just gotta, I guess, stay up for the next 24 hours and watch this like a hawk. Yeah, what time does it drop? On the website? Or so Mag, it sounds like you are definitely okay with the $600 price tag for the 4070, which is kind of a So I started watching some videos today, and nobody seemed like they were overly happy in the review of the price of the 4070. For myself, I mean, I kind of just stated it as it is. I guess I didn't, in my video, I didn't comment whether or not I personally like the price. I just said it's priced exactly how it should be without much competition. Extreme Zone 987 says scalper bots will buy up all those founders today. So I'm very curious, like, what are the scalper bots gonna do with these? You think people are gonna spend more than MSRP on these? I guess the Founders Edition cards, they always have like that special factor to them where I guess some people would be willing to pay more for. Okay, here, Founders Edition cards are very cool looking, but I don't think they look that good in a lot of build scenarios. Like, you see how the color of them are, they're usually like grayish slash almost a little bit brownish in tint. It doesn't look good in like every build. Like, if you try to put this into a white build or like a two-tone like black and, you know, accented build, this doesn't work with it. Scalpers buy then return in 30 days and let us scoop up the open box prices, baby. The only thing about returning it is I don't know if it goes to like the same place or if it has to go to some kind of distro center first and then it gets put into like open box inventory. So like, just because you return something that you open box to a certain store, I don't know if that eventually hits that same floor of that store. Kenny D says 600 is way too much for the 4070, not gonna lie. You think the price would be, you think people would have received it that much better if they lowered it by 50 bucks? Like if it was $550? Because then it would have only been a $50 price increase up from the 3070. And it's just hitting that next $100 increment just looks, or it just feels that much worse. June PC Texas, how long did you have the 4070 for? I had it, what's today, Wednesday? So I had it for just a little bit over a week. Which unfortunately, I didn't have a full week to test it because originally I was supposed to use the 4070 with a 13700K system. So I started configuring that. It was actually my brother-in-law's system, but then the 13700K decided to start having random blue screen problems. After I already got everything kind of like configured and set up like with the overlays and all the programs and stuff installed in it. So then I had to quickly scramble and change up the processor to, it was either going to be the 12700K that I had in my own system, but that would have been a hassle because it's in my ITX system. So the next best processor I had that wasn't actively being used was the 5800X3D. So that's why I used it with that. Keep lining them NVIDIA pockets, boys. GPU prices will never come down. Lol. I mean, we'll take a look at some prices on eBay today, as well as just everything. I think we did see a price decrease of the 6950 because when I made the video, when I screen capped looking at Newegg, I think 600 what was the lowest price on there? Like 630, was it, or $650? I think people were saying they were 6950s for 610 right now, and I think 3080s they might see a price reduction due to the release of this. So, you'll have kind of other options with regards to stuff that is on par-ish with the 4070 for around 600. But like I said in the video, I don't know. Nvidia knows the market pretty well, and you know they've stopped manufacturing and they've kind of held the line for the price of like the RTX 3080. That's why we still see them so high. That they, for the people who are only trying to buy new cards, you don't really have much other option performance to like $600 ish price range. Yeah, Chris, that you make a point. If you are trying to get the Founders Edition RTX 4070, make a Best Buy account, be logged in, have your information ready. Did anyone camp out like the 4080 Founders Edition at all? When I bought the RTX 4080 for my brother-in-law for his PC build, I had the option to buy a Founders Edition 4080. We decided not to go with one because it, you know, he had that anime weeb PC case that had like some teal accent to it and stuff, so the 4080 wouldn't have looked good aesthetically in his build, so that's why we went with the Eagle OC model. But like the Founders Edition 4080 was pretty readily available, so it's because people thought that the 4080 for $1,200 was horrible value. Now, it doesn't sound like too many people think the RTX 4070 is that great of value, so there might be more available on launch day, at least for a little bit, instead of like instantly going selling out. Kenny D says, at this point, just get the 6800 XT. 6900 XT or 6950 XT, all better value for money if you don't care about the Nvidia software suite. Yeah. So one of the things that definitely I thought made a better case for Nvidia, and I don't know why, because normally I don't care about this, but that power draw difference is so big. Like shaving off a whole 100 watts on the 4070 allows you to I would say you could safely build a gaming PC using a good quality 500 watt power supply with the RTX 4070 in it. At least these early model ones with a single 8-pin without any problems. Yeah, I think you could, if you use like even a C tier or B tier 500 watt power supply, you could easily put together a build with an RTX 4070. You're not gonna have that much room to upgrade past that, but yeah, about 200 watts, a little bit less than 200 watts, like around 190-ish watts for the graphics card. Get yourself, you know, like, I don't know, a Ryzen 5 or something like that, a 65 watt processor. Yeah, you're gonna have some room left over. Koshi Gaming says a 4070 plus 7800 X3D would be a crazy efficient gaming combo. Yeah, it using less than half of like a 500 watt power supply, that gives you plenty of room to pair it with other CPUs. The Freak House says, I am considering upgrading my 6700 XT to a 4070. Do I need it? Or do I need to? No, but I want better ray tracing performance at 1080p. Yeah. Dude, that ray tracing performance, AMD just can't touch Nvidia with that. I'm very curious when they would catch up, if they will ever catch up, because last gen was their first generation of ray tracing, right? So putting it side by side with the 3080 the 3080 was like 2nd gen ray tracing, and then the 4070 is 3rd gen ray tracing. So putting a 4070 against something like the 6950 XT, you're looking at a 1st gen versus 3rd gen ray tracing. And yeah, AMD, despite the 6900 XT and pretty much all my tests killing it, it just doesn't even compare ray tracing wise. I think you really need to factor in long-term efficiency. Don't forget long-term cost savings. Are you talking about like for power? Which, I mean, in the US, power is so cheap that it kind of doesn't matter. Even the higher power costs over, I don't know, 2 or 3 years might only be like $100 or $200, depending on if you like leave your computer on all day. So, but there's also like the heat generation part of things, right? Like if you wanted to build an ITX, like in an ITX case, the RTX 4070 would be a better fit for it for 2 reasons. Because one is the size, like a 4070, and I have them right here. Like, you know how big a 6900 XT or 6950 XT is versus a 4070, which again, I made the comparison to here's a 2060 relative to the 4070. They're like pretty close in size aside from the length. But if you look at thickness, like I showed in the video, thickness and height wise, they are like the same thing. So not only does this thing produce less heat, I'm not sure if you saw in the test, like this compared to the 3080, this was a good 5 to 10 degrees cooler than it the entire time. And so this will fit into ITX cases a lot better, as well as just because ITX cases typically heat is kind of an issue. Something like this just fits in way better, and will make the overall system less hot. Danny Carbajal says it wasn't showing your stream. Really weird. What wasn't showing my stream? Like it didn't pop up on my channel when you went to it? Adrian does not have to work today. Nice. Congrats on not having to work, so you can catch the stream. I'm curious, how many RTX 4070 reviews did y'all watch? So embargo lifted at 6 a.m. PST today. I did not release mine until noon PST today, for 2 reasons. One, because I may or may not have been working on it past embargo time, because the editing on my side of things, it's so much crazier because I'm not just showing like graphs and stuff. Like I'm building all the text around like the 4 concurrent like gameplay images, which I have to sync up and everything for every single title. So that just makes it like so much more time consuming. But also by missing the rush, I mean, when 6 a.m. hit, I think I saw like maybe 10 or so videos drop at the same exact time. So if mine was in there too, I think people might have been sick of watching it, like RTX 4070 things after like the 2nd or 3rd video. So by releasing it later, maybe that would have given some people some time to like cool down. And then like when they saw my notification later on in the day, they're like, oh, maybe they'll check it out more. Arbert Shin says, none yet. I noticed Linus's when I got on to join the stream. Hardware Unbox, Gamers Nexus, Mag. Oh, I watched like 5 Law, Linus, Steve, Jay, Paul, Hardware Unbox, and you. Nice. Thank you for watching mine in all that like shuffle with all those huge YouTubers. I think everyone there. Yeah, everyone there. Has Hardware Unbox hit 1 million yet? How is Hardware Unbox, dude? How is Hardware Unbox only at 951k still? They are definitely a 1 million plus sub channel in terms of their quality. All right, like I have such huge respect for Steve. I'm really curious. Do you guys think, or do you? Here's the thing. I just cannot watch every single video from every single channel. Does anyone know if Hardware Unbox automates their benchmarks? Like, obviously they have to physically switch the cards out when they do like their multi-card benchmarking, right? But for the games, do you know if they run a script that opens up the game, like does their little custom runs? Because they do custom runs. They kind of mix. I think they do canned benchmarks on some of them, and they do custom runs on the other. But do you know if they script everything in terms of like doing the multiple passes and recording the results? Because even for me testing those 4 cards, doing multiple runs across, I tested 12 games, but some of those games, like Cyberpunk, I had like 4 different settings I tested at. The amount of time that took, I was seriously losing it. I kind of wanted to cry because of how much work it was. So I can't imagine how much work it is for every time Steve from Hardware Box, or I guess any of the channels, when they do like 12 GPU comparisons, even across like 10 games at multiple resolutions. No, Steve does it all. It must be so time consuming. I wish I could just... He should do it live on stream sometime, just because... Just to showcase like the amount of time it takes. You know what sucks is with a lot of the newer games, when you benchmark it and you switch a graphics card out, it has to re-optimize the shaders. And you guys probably have seen the memes of like the Last of Us games. Like the Last of Us, whenever like it gets stuck loading shaders and stuff. But Last of Us isn't the only game that does that. Forza Horizon 5 does that. That's the game I test. Hogwarts Legacy every freaking time wants to optimize shaders. Rainbow Six does that. Call of Duty does that. Like almost like half of the games that I test. So every time you switch in a new graphics card, not only do you have to sometimes you have to just completely wipe the drivers, even if it is like the same brand for whatever reason. Like it doesn't get picked up, or it auto detects some older driver. I ran into that. Like I had a 4070 in the system, took it out, put a 3080 in. It should have auto detected and used the same driver version, but no, it didn't. It picked up some older version, so then I had to re-update it. Oh god, I'm so glad the benchmarking nightmare is over, but it might have to be repeated if I somehow get access to any other cards down the line. Just hire some local monkey to do them for you, Danny. Well, then you would have to trust that person, because they would have to probably benchmark at my house. And also, you have to trust that they won't mess up. And it is really easy to mess up benchmarking. I had to go back and redo some of it, because once I was looking at the numbers, like for the Cyberpunk. So, I'm not sure if y'all have, like, if you have played Cyberpunk extensively, then you might know that Cyberpunk, sometimes when you change the settings and you hit apply, it doesn't actually accept your settings, which is the biggest pain, because how are you supposed to know then? Because there's no other visual indicator. The settings menu says that you are on a specific setting, but those settings have not actually applied. So it's going to mess up your results. During the ray tracing run of my 4070 Ti, my first run, it got double the FPS, because it either did not remove the automatic FSR that Cyberpunk likes to put on when you put it at ultra ray tracing. Either that, or it didn't apply actual ultra ray tracing to it. So my numbers were bad, and when it was when I was reviewing the data, was when I noticed that it was wrong. So then I had to go back and redo it, which is a pain. Coalition Games says, "I'll come work for you eventually, Danny." I don't know about that. So the thing is, the amount of work it takes to do like these reviews for graphics cards and to all that benchmarking, it doesn't really pay off, because I'm looking at the performance of the video right now, and it is definitely not performing well, given how many hours I put into freaking testing the card. Mag78 says, "I've had to redo so many Cyberpunk 2077 runs." Yeah. Yeah. Cyberpunk is annoying in that way. I can't believe it's been how many years since it's released, and it's still having issues with settings and menu. It's pretty annoying. Yo, Rival Maniac. What's up, Ryan? Congrats on Valenier, by the way. Which I'm not even sure if you actually have it, because I didn't see any pictures in the guild Discord posted of you holding it. Doesn't everyone, like, when you get a legendary item, typically, like, everyone stands together, take a group pic, and then post it on the guild Discord. I don't know. So I don't know if I believe you have it yet. Danny Carbajal says the YouTubers get the cards early. So I was actually surprised that they reached out to me to review a 4070. I'm very curious if Nvidia was. I saw actually some smaller channels get it too, like channels even under like 200K. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe Nvidia. The way that I was approached to do this, I had a feeling like, okay, why are they reaching out to someone like me when they skipped over like all the other graphics card? I don't know if they were trying to hopefully hit like the more medium-sized creators to hopefully get good press or PR on the 4070 or what, but the way when they reached out to me for it, it almost sounded like I was an alternative or backup option. I don't think I was one of their first considerations for this card. I don't know how early some of the other reviewers got their 4070s, but I feel like I was like a late addition. So maybe they'll send you a 4050. So I mean, in terms of my like receiving graphics card samples or review samples from Nvidia, it has not been consistent over the years. Like I got a couple directly from Nvidia before. This one I got directly from PNY. I've gotten them from Galax. So I don't know how it works over there in terms of like, does Nvidia go to PNY and say, hey, we want you to give Nerd on a Budget your add-in board partner version of the card, or if this was PNY themselves trying to promote their PNY card, or if it's a combination of the two. The Smash TV Network says, I feel like 4070 is a hard no for me. For another $1,000, you can buy a 4090. Wait up. For another $1,000? You can't just casually say, oh, just spend another $1,000 on a graphics card. People don't have that much money to drop on a computer part. $1,000 is a whole really good performing PC. That is not the typical step that people say when they don't want a graphics card of a performance level or tier. Just add another $1,000 to it and just jump straight to the 4090. I mean, there are other cards along the way that you could consider. You don't need money. Have a credit card law. That's true. You could ruin your credit and declare bankruptcy over a graphics card. Extreme Zone 97 says $1,000 equal pocket change. Dude, I wish I could think like that. Bro, I try to save like 50 cents buying generic like brand milk over Dairy Gold at the store. I wish $1,000 just pocket change to me. Yeah, Adrian, I would agree with you here. Honestly, the best thing I've seen from the 4070 reviews is the low power requirements. Just one 8-pin is kind of insane for the performance. Yeah, you're getting 3080 level performance at 180 to 190-ish watts. And in a small size. So I'm very curious. What is the max you guys would pay? So we're gonna run the first poll. What is the max you guys would pay for an AIB for like a more premium model of a card versus something like this? So let me run that poll. All right, so we're gonna go in $25 increments. How much? What's the max? for a more premium model, I think my limit is like 25 bucks, honestly. Maybe 50 bucks if it can get you like a Strix, I guess, because those are known to be so expensive. But yeah, 25 bucks is almost like the standard just for if you don't get a Founders Edition anyways. Like, something like this, I would have expected to still cost another 20 bucks though, because it was not Founders Edition. But it looks like, we'll have to see, right, when the prices drop. This is supposedly going to equal exactly $600 when it hits the e-tailers and like store shelves and stuff. We will see if that is the case. But normally, even going for a like a lower end card from you know, one of the partner brands, it still carries like a $20 premium on it. Extreme Zone 987 says, watch the Toasty Bros vid where they bought a used monitor. Monitor screen had some minor dirt on it. They said it could use some Windex. I told them, no, don't put ammonia on a computer monitor. Yeah, for computer monitors, you have to specifically use like cleaning spray for it, right? Either that or just water. Yo, Jason Whitmer says cereal is for children. What? That's not true. Yeah, that's a good point, Chris. A lot of the times, I can't finish all the milk that we get because it goes bad in like a week and a half to 2 weeks, right? And I try to usually get the gallon because I hate running out of milk like before having to go to the grocery store. So I would almost always, which is very kind of wasteful, I guess, if you look at it that way. I would rather like have a little bit of extra milk go bad than run out of milk before the next time I go to the grocery store. Okay, results. Looks like the majority of people would be willing to pay up to about $50, but both $25 and $50 are the top so far. Like that example that I showed in the video, I wasn't making that up. Like, let's take a look at this. All right, so the Strix, I guess there's two versions. We can add it to the compare. The RTX 4070 Ti. What is the cheapest one? So I'm very curious how expensive the 600 or the RTX 4070 non-Ti's are gonna be. It's funny enough, the PNY was something that I could use in the example. But look at this. Who is out here paying? Stop giving me other recommendations. Who is out here paying almost? So here's $250 more for the same card. It's still a 4070 Ti at the end of the day. Who's buying this? I'm not sure if this is the worst example. Let me see. So let's see the RTX. So the crappy thing is you can't look at like 3080s on Newegg or Amazon anymore. They are just the dumbest thing. But let's see if the price has dropped ever since the announcement. Because some of these are third-party sellers, and they are gonna have to realize that you cannot hold a 3080 at that price anymore. 620 bucks. So okay, this Zotac one, it's sold by PC Outlet Store there, so they kind of wised up. Because prior to this morning, I believe this 692 one was the lowest 3080 card. And these are 10 gigabyte ones too. So this person kind of wised up and was like, oh shoot, the 4070 is coming out. There's no way I'm going to move a graphics card at like around 700. So they dropped it to 620. But we just saw from like, you know, multiple reviews today, this trades blows pretty evenly. Actually, it kind of loses. It loses in more often than not scenarios to the 4070. So why would anyone buy this over a $600 4070? There's no good reason to buy this anymore at the same price. Ryan, imagine not slapping a Republic of Gamers sticker on your PC. Dude, that makes you a true gamer when you do that. Yeah, dude, the Strix white version, I went through that trying to find the 3080 for my buddy James, which I feel so bad for because we ended up spending like $1,100 for a white Strix 3080. But that was last, when was it? That was like last May. So that was almost a year ago that we did that. So it was kind of a different climate back then. 3080s were still going for like $700 to $800 back then, so. Same people who spend thousands on a sick battle station setup and then end up playing the Xbox downstairs anyways. Okay, let's take a look at the RX 6900. So, I used the 6900 in my system because that was the only card I had on hand. I don't have a 6950 XT on hand, but I think they're only like a 50 megahertz clock difference. I think they're pretty close. Plus, you can overclock it to make a 6900 XT pretty much 6950 XT. It didn't really matter though because the 6900 XT still dominated in all the benchmarks. But the only issue about the 6900 XT is if we look at the price here, yeah, what the heck? Why is there's literally one card. If you look up 6900 XT right now on Newegg, one card pops up. I haven't even applied filters to only brand new or anything. They're pretty much, they phased them out already. So you're kind of forced to buy a 6950 XT. Which isn't the worst thing in the world because those are going for cheaper. So if you go for 6950 XT, the lowest one is 610 right now after you use this promo code, which is like an instant price reduction. It's not mail-in rebate or anything. And this is gonna be for the AdRock Phantom gaming one, 16 gigabytes of DDR, or like a VRAM rather, and yeah, 610. So we're gonna end the poll. Here's the next poll, because I think honestly this is the real question. I know in my video I posted asking between 3 graphics card. This is the real question though. And this is anonymous, so just answer honestly, because you can list enough reasons why people can legitimately this time I think you can list enough reasons for why people would legitimately want the Nvidia card over AMD. I think when it comes to something like the 6650 XT versus the 3060, I think that's a much closer competition than the 6950 XT versus the 4070. Like, I would almost hands down any day of the week say you better go get a 6650 XT instead of a 3060. Here, I think I'm more split between Nvidia and AMD in this $600 price tier. But it seems like most of the people in the chat are more interested or would rather go Team Red this time around. At the same price. Kenny D would rather get the 6800 XT. Well, yeah, so then this question assumes that you are in the market for these cards. That's why you only have them as options. That's why in my hypotheticals, I am very specific, and I force you to choose between one of two cards. Because obviously, people are going to say, oh, I'd rather get the 6700 XT, because those are only like $350 or something. Yes, there are better options at the lower price range, but this is assuming, like, you know, you have to choose one of the two. Both of them aren't the most, might not be the most ideal options, so, but which one do you lean towards is where I'm getting at. The Starfield game is gonna destroy my laptop. Starfield. That's the Bethesda one, right? The space game. When is that even supposed to be coming out? Is that coming out before the next Elder Scrolls? I forget, man. Some of these games are so far out that I just forget about them because there's no use trying to wait for something that's like 4 to 5 years out. Yeah, you're right, Shaynes. Like, no, you're totally, completely right. So the more interesting thing is, you would hope that AMD is gonna make more strides in the ray tracing department on the second gen. I guess what cards do we have? Oh, maybe we can actually look that up. So if we were to look at the current, it would be looking at like the 4070 Ti versus, it would almost be like looking at the 7900 XT ray tracing performance, right? Testing in 4K ray tracing. I love this channel, man. Testing games. All right, so we take a look at, so this is a more fair comparison because you're looking at current gen versus current gen. These two cards are within $100 of each other. It kind of sucks that they're kind of staggered in price. This is ray tracing turned on. The 7900 XT beats the 4070 Ti by, it's looking like let's see, what is the average at? 66 versus 55, 56. Okay, we gotta go to the end of the benchmark to see what it finally ends up at. Oh wait, dude, does this person not capture the average? They don't. They're just, dude, I mean, then you just have to just look at snapshots in time. I guess they might show the end scores, maybe. No, they don't show the end scores. No! Why do they capture the 1% and 0.1% lows, but they don't capture the running average? This is not helpful. But we're looking at like mid-50s versus like mid-60s, okay? Let's look at, what is this one? Oh, that's without ray tracing. Here's with ray tracing. Oh, no. Okay, so that's the results we don't want to see. That's not a good story when you're looking at 40-ish versus 30 FPS. So this is the ray tracing segment of the video. So the $100 more 7900 XT is losing by quite a bit. That's like from 40 to 30, that's like a 25% performance reduction right there. Here's Forza Horizon 5. This one, it looks like it already has ray tracing on it if you're playing on extreme. So it's also losing here, which is not too good to see. Here's Hitman. Hitman is winning, but I think it might be because they might only be doing like partial implementation of ray tracing. Yeah, the D3, D12 is just the current FPS. It doesn't take that much more to add the running average. Because what you care about is what the average is after like the 1 minute run. Because these numbers right here, it kind of fluctuates all over the place as you do the run. So just me pressing pause here isn't really indicative of, you know, the two cards' performance to each other. You might have a pretty like low, like just, you know, split second here and a high split second here, and it kind of tells you a different story. Chris is sitting in traffic right now, 1 hour and 10 minutes just to go 19 miles. I'm sorry, Chris. Spider-Man Miles Morales with ray tracing. Here we see the 7900 XT actually perform. Oh wait, they're about on par with each other. Yeah, see at the beginning of the run. Let's see, 65. Yeah, so they're on par here. So if AMD releases, what would AMD's next card be? I mean, AMD's next cards have to be the 7800 / 7800 XT, right? There's no way they're gonna skip that to drop the 7700 XT. The question is, are they gonna take a big price reduction? Like, how expensive do you think AMD's 6800 XT or 6800 is going to be? It's, instead of like lining up with Nvidia, it feels like AMD is like a slight shift, filling in the holes between Nvidia cards. So it kind of makes it so that you don't have that good of direct side-by-side performance or like comparisons. Because when a card does cost $100 difference, you kind of expect it to perform better. It should not be performing, you know, side by side, like equivalent to a card that costs $100 less. So given that this is $900, we have seen price reductions though on them. If you look at the RX 7900 XT, again, that's their cheapest card, released at $900. The lowest price, 7900 XT. Yo, did this just see a price reduction? There was not any under $800 when I checked like 2 nights ago. The lowest one was like $810. Did AMD just reduce their prices after the announcement of the 4070? Oh yeah, I forgot about that, Kev. I think you're right. I think this channel puts the average at the beginning, maybe. Or oh, there they did. They should just leave it on the entire time. So yeah, that one beats it there. So what's the next ray tracing game? Red Dead Redemption, God of War. These are all ray traced, right? Yeah, 88. Oh, so that's a 10% increase there, for about a 10% increase in price. So that's about as expected. 70, 80. So that's like a 12, like 11 to 12% increase there. So as expected. The 7900 XT Phantom Gaming AdRock has been $800 for the last 3 weeks now. So let's go back to, where was that one? So yeah, this one being down to $780 seems like, actually we might be able to check PC part picker. RX 7900 XT. Phantom Gaming. Here we go. So if we look at the price. Oh yeah, there it is. We can see it right there. There is. Yeah, it was holding at ever since what? Mid-February? No. End of February. Sorry, I think that. End of February. Let's do a 60-day look at it. And then boom, there you see the step of it dropping from to another $20. Mega Man Neo X says, I think the pandemic taught us we can keep our GPUs for 10 years. Okay, 10 years. 10 years would be, jeez, when did the GTX release date? GTX, okay, so 10 years would be if you bought a GTX 770 on launch day and are still using it up to this day and age. Now, I'm not saying you can't do that, because you could still use the dude, the 770 was, oh, it was such a good card once it like hit sub $100 price ranges. It was such a good like go-to budget builders card. But using that up till right now in April 2023, you're playing everything at like low settings, unless of course, you know, you're playing 13-year-old games like League of Legends or whatever. But I'm talking about if you're trying to play modern games, you're playing at 1080p, the lowest settings, and probably going to be hovering around 40 FPS on a lot of stuff. Wait for 4060 or go 3070 Ti. Thoughts? Wait, so to answer this question, we have to know what graphics card are you on currently. If you are on anything that came out within the last 3 years, that's like, you know, not a GT 1630 or something like that. Then yeah, you can wait. But like, what card do you have right now? Before we can answer this question, you have a 5600 XT. 5600 XT. How much do you have to spend? So you're saying a 30. What is a 3070 Ti going for? I looked. Are you buying it in the used market? So I looked at 3070 Ti pricing. If you're buying them brand new, again, Nvidia last gen cards, stupid, really stupidly priced right now. A 3070 Ti, if you're gonna buy it, not refurbished or anything, if you're trying to get it from like Amazon or Newegg, the lowest price one is $550. Huh. That actually is, I think a 4060, they might, if I had to guess, I wasn't too far off when I had to guess the price of the 4070. I thought it was going to be anywhere from 600 to 650, so my range was in there. I gave myself a $50 buffer on my guess, but for the 3070 Ti versus the 4060, yeah, I mean, 4060 I think has a really high probability of coming in at $500. Because remember, if they have a 4060 Ti in there somewhere, it's probably gonna have to slot right into that $550 price range. So that puts the 4060 at $500-ish, unless Nvidia, for some reason, you think now we're gonna be talking about the price of upcoming cards. Would you be okay with a? So we're gonna end that poll. 2/3 of the people chose the 6950 XT, by the way. So, we don't know the performance of the 4060, but let's just assume that it performs as it should, kind of as expected. Would you be happy with them if they dropped at $450? Yo, wait. Rumors? Is that what the rumor is right now? RTX 4060 6GB? That seems like a huge jump from a 12GB 4070. I don't believe that rumor. I think it's gonna be 8 gigs. 8 gigs minimum. They might do like a 8 gig versus and 10 gig version or something, but there's no way it's gonna be 6 gigs. They're not gonna take that big of a jump just between the 4070 and the 4060. What's it? Release date speculation from PC Games Zen. I don't even know what this website is. They have it on here, potentially 8 gigabytes, which is way more believable in my opinion. Dang, a 3070 Ti for $550. Haven't been looking in a while. Yeah, dude. I don't know what to say. These are just like, oh, why Nvidia cards? Why? Let's look on eBay though. You look at a 3070 Ti. eBay. Stop trying to show me broken crap. The 3070 Ti on eBay, we have to go to open box, your refurbished new. The cheapest one, if you want to buy it now and not wait, is 3070. You can get for $330. Where's the 3070 Ti though? I put Ti in the title. Can I sort? More filters. Memory type, chipset model. Here we go. 3060 Ti. What the heck? Y'all seen this, right? I clearly put RTX 3070 Ti into the eBay search. It is not its own like category on the eBay filter. Why? Are there none for sale right now? Is the 30? Yeah. Oh, eBay, you're showing me all this other. Why are you showing me 2060 Supers? Why is it doing this? Oh, you use double quotes? Or just quotes? Man, come on. eBay should be smarter than this. Here's one. Oh, is it because there's not supposed to be a space for the Ti? Now I'm seeing them. Even though this one still pops up, this normal 3070. Okay, it looks like the cheapest. Who is this seller with 0%? Wait, what is this? Positive feedback within the last 12 months, 0%, but they have 56 sales. Okay. This graphics card looks and works as good as new. Purchase it directly from okay, this looks like a normal, like, you know, a human wrote this. It was not for mining, they say. But here's a new listing one. Would you want a blower style card? Anyone out there interested in blower style cards? I've just every blower style card I've used before, it either runs hot or it runs loud. Like, I don't know if I've had a good experience with a blower style card. Blowers blow, law, exactly. Maybe on lower end cards it would work out, but like a 4050 or something where it's not generating that much heat and it doesn't require that much power. But when you start getting into the more like higher end, like mid upper tier to high end cards, yeah, this, I don't know, this is good for if you have a particular style of case where you want to vent the hot air out right away and not back into the case where it will affect like the CPU or something like that. But it is like very specific use cases where you would want one of these. So yeah, price wise, I mean, this one is still like over $400. So you're looking at $400 for a 3070 Ti, or if we go back and look at what is it, the RX 6800. Those are gonna be lowest price is $420 for open box or $470. So yeah, it's gonna be like a 6750 XT for around the same price, for around that $400. Yo, did these go up in price? 6700s, 6700 XTs. I thought they were normally around like 370, 380. Maybe you just have to wait for a better sale, but right now it doesn't look like. Oh, here we go. 6700 XT. You can get one for 350. Okay, yeah, and then you can overclock this thing to be about a 6750 XT. So this one would be the one to go for, not the 6750 XT. Jumi says, "What's the best way to support you?" No, but donations, YouTube, or subs. Honestly, the best way to support is before all of that. Even if you can't even afford all that, just watching the videos when they come out. That is like, and then like leaving a comment or something. That would be like, if I had to choose of all the ways to be supported, that would be my number one choice. But if you're talking strictly monetarily wise, I mean, the donations directly through PayPal I get 100% of, but those I don't really prefer because they're not as integrated to the YouTube ecosystem as like a super chat or a YouTube member is, where you actually get something in return when you buy those, even though YouTube takes a cut. But like with the super chat, you get access to emotes, you get a badge next to your name, things like that. So honestly, whichever you decide, just your viewership and you coming to the streams is like my number one. Like, I'm already happy if you're doing that. So, well, I got a 3090 for free, so it was a Founders Edition. Cloud Strife. Who gets 3090s for free? How did you score a free 3090? Lucky. Yeah, Shane Eslick. Even my GTX 275 super overclock blower. Yeah, my 280, my GTX 280 is a blower style too. Back then, dude, the old school blower style cards, I really like the look of them. Like EVGA. Let's see if I can find the exact one. Here it is. Here. I was gonna make a video revisiting this card, which is gonna be such horrible performance. But these cards, I love the look of these back in the day. So you had this 275, you said, Shane? 275 Super OC. Oh man, look at that. Oh, thanks for the kind words, Marie. Craig Ted says, I just upgraded from the 6700 XT. Had no issues overclocking and undervolting it to near 6750 XT speeds. Craig Ted, what did you upgrade to? I feel like the 6700 XT is still a very capable card, so you must have hopefully gotten like a pretty nice upgrade to go up from that. I mean, if I had to guess, a worthy upgrade from a 6700 XT would be like at least a 6950 XT, if not like a 7900 XT or a RTX 4080-ish. Yeah, I don't think a jump up to like a 6800 would really be worth it, nor would a jump to the like, I guess a 3090 would be a pretty big upgrade from it too. Brian Aggressor says, hey Nob, thoughts on the Asus GT502 case? Is that the one that we looked at not too long ago on stream? I could have sworn we pulled this up. Okay, so what was the special thing about this case? Dual chamber design, panoramic view, toolless side panel, okay. Oh, these have the straps on top, doesn't it? Oh, look at that strap. You know I like my handles. You know I like my straps. Okay, take a look at this case though. Am I right in assuming this thing is pretty big? This looks like a kind of big case. Yeah, this looks like a pretty big case, which I mean the case itself, just based on the features alone, dual chamber design, I love that. The panoramic view, it's that side intake though, right? Because there's glass on the front. Pretty sure it's kind of like rear panel side intake. Tool-free design, USB-C, that's a feature on the front panel. So yeah, I mean, just looking at this, I can't really think of anything wrong with it. It definitely has a unique look to it. So it's kind of a personal preference kind of thing. Yeah, I mean, I see no glaring issues with it. It does seem too big for my tastes, though. I mean, this is if we're gonna like say it's copying any other style of case. This is what normally people would call like an 011 dynamic clone, right? Just the way that the motherboard tray slopes with the wires coming in at like the diagonal slope instead of just on the rear part of the motherboard, having the front glass panel and side exhaust and intake, having the dual chamber design. This is like 011 dynamic inspired, or whatever you want to call it, which I mean, there's a lot of reason why companies are inspired or like follow a similar design to that case, because it is a good design and a lot of people like it. So yeah. How much is this thing? GT502. Is this for sale yet anywhere? 170 bucks it looks like. Okay, so pricing wise, it is in line with like a 011 dynamic. Wow, look at this all white version. You will have to need a lot of white components, like pure white components, if you want to like build this out without really meshing with the color. Yeah, so 170 bucks. I mean, this looks like a solid case. Look at it. Look at the rear side. That is a lot of space to work with. You will never, with the dual chamber designs, you never have an issue with closing the side panel and like having to force cables in. You just have so much room to throw stuff around here. Yeah, cable management in this should be a breeze. Anyone, BSD Morphin Precious, anyone seen the SSUPD Mushroom S available for sale in the US? Trying to finish my build. What is this now? SSUPD Mushroom S. Mushroom S. Didn't they have... Oh, they did the Meshalicious. I thought the name sounded familiar. Okay, so this is one of those vertical tower ITX cases. What is this Mushroom S, though? How is it different? 14.9 liters. And what about this one? This one's 14.6, so it's a little bit bigger. So this is like a slightly bigger version. I'm trying to think of... The Mushroom is only 25 liters. This thing says it's 14.9. Is this wrong? DIYPC. Okay, we gotta see this. DIYPC made their own 011 dynamic clone. I don't know if I've seen this yet. Maybe I haven't. I forgot about it. But DIYPC. Alright, let's see if I can find it without you guys telling me the same name. Oh, is this it right here? This looks... $70? That has to be it. Yeah, there's not gonna be anything else. Wow! Oh, that looks like the 011 Dynamic Mini. Yeah, for sure. Let me pull that one up. 011 Dynamic Mini. Go on Lee and Lee's website. Yeah. Actually, this one looks like it has more of a cube form factor. So this is micro ATX. The 011 Dynamic, it can fit... even the Mini can still fit standard ATX. So that's why it's taller. But dude, $70 and it comes with 3 ARGB fans? Okay. Is that breakaway? Okay, let me look at those expansion slots covers right there. Are those breakaway? Knowing DIYPC at $70, it is definitely breakaway expansion slot covers. Dude, okay. I kind of love this case though. I actually really like this case. For $70. Okay, let's see if there's actually any... Okay, there must be reviews of this on YouTube. I got a Zach video, but this is definitely not that DIY PC case. Yo, when did this case come out? Searching in the exact name, I'm not finding it at all. Maybe I have to get rid of the BK. Yeah, budget 011 Dynamic Mini. This case is not... No one has built or used this case on YouTube yet. Check their reviews on Newegg. They hijacked their own listing. Here, I'm gonna... This is... Alright, this is actually pretty cool. Give me a second here. Let me get you guys the short link here. Oh, man. Yeah, they do have a white version. Okay, so I really want to buy this to do a build in it, but... I don't have a... Like, my video schedule is pretty, like, set in stone out until, like, mid to end of May already. So, if I wouldn't be able to build in this for a while, and if this only came out last week, yeah, there's definitely gonna be plenty of other people who are gonna eventually get videos up on it. I wonder if... Okay, you said they hijacked their own listing, so what am I trying to look at? Jason, check the reviews on Newegg. They hijacked their own listing. Okay. Where's the reviews at? Oh, what the heck? They hijacked their own listing? Are you talking about how all these other reviews are kind of like taking over. Yeah, jeez. Okay, I'm gonna say this right now. This case is freaking ugly. I know my buddies, like, I know Tech by Matt has used this case quite a bit. I think Zach really likes to use this case. This thing is freaking ugly. I hate it. I'm so sorry to say that. Like, I hate this case. This case looks like it does not belong in 2023. It doesn't even look like it belongs in 2020. This looks like CYCLOPS if he was a case. I don't know why. It's a popular case. It is really cheap. It is very affordable. I just hate it. I don't know why. Dude, this thing to me is like the ugliest thing ever. But I understand why people use it. Okay. Alright, it does redeem itself with the hinged side panel. I forgot, it has the hinged side panel. So, it redeems itself there. But still, overall, I hate this case. So, it's funny. Is this what you meant, Jason? So, this is kind of like the Amazon problem, right? Cause yeah, this is the exact same thing happens on Amazon, where a product, if it shares like the same product landing page where you can choose from different variations of it, the reviews are gonna be shared between the two, which is the dumbest thing ever. Newegg, you are stupid for not separating these two cases. Amazon, you are stupid for not giving individual reviews for different versions of products, because no one wants to see, when they're looking for this case, the Q3, nobody wants to see a ton of these stupid Q8 versions in the reviews. How much is this thing again? 50 bucks? Come on, man. I swear, for 50 bucks, there are better versions of this of cases than this thing. Yeah, Newegg should definitely split this. What? Why? Why do they not do it? Do you think they're intentionally trying to like mislead people? Whether it be, oops. I mean, I'm pretty sure DIYPC is intentionally trying to get this visibility and having good reviews. But why does Newegg allow that is the question. Alright, we're gonna look at PC cases now, because I am very upset that this thing costs $50 and is there no other alternative for a $50 PC case? Why is everyone using that? Oh, where's the PC cases at? PC components, cases. PC cases. Okay, here we go. Sprixie asks, what do you think about EVGA dropping out of the GPU business? Honestly, I think EVGA stopping making GPUs is one of like the biggest shocks in tech that we've seen for a while. Like kind of like unexpected. They have been so synonymous with Nvidia for so long. For them to just all of a sudden decide it's not worth it to work with Nvidia anymore, that's just like, when is the last time you've seen a company like get out of the graphics card game for that reason, and not because of like, you know, going bankrupt or something like that? It definitely sucks, because then there's less options, and EVGA was kind of like the gold standard of what customer service was supposed to be like, right? Like, you hear some of these other companies out there that just have like MSI or Gigabyte or something that kind of are known for not good customer service. And EVGA, like, I personally have I've dealt with them for RMAs and stuff before, and they definitely had a really good quality customer service. So them being out of the business sucks. What do I think about PNY GPUs? I mean, I've never had to do an RMA through them, so no issue. So like, I can't speak on their customer service side of things. But in terms of like the quality of PNY graphics cards, even something that looks as cheap and like, you know, I keep on saying this looks cheap and low end, but this is like, this card has like zero issues with it. Performance wise, temperature wise, the ability to overclock a little bit past the factory tune, zero problems. I've used the PNY RGB, like the Epic X RGB cards. Those actually have really good high performing coolers, so no problems with PNY either. Like, I don't know. For me, most graphics card brands, like most graphics cards, don't have problems. The issue usually arises is the customer service should anything go wrong, and those are usually like a one-off thing. It's not that often that we get like a whole like brand's worth of GPUs are just bad and you should just stay away from them. Baseline performance wise, they're for the most part, a lot of them are, you know, they work as intended. And Kevin Yo has a PNY 2060 Super and no issues there, and that's kind of like it's not an old card by any means, but it is older in terms of generation. So yeah, I haven't heard anything specifically bad about PNY cards. Okay, so we're at PC cases now. We're gonna sort by lowest price because just like the t-shirt says, that's how we do things around here. Newegg, I hate it. They always give me bull crap when I'm trying to do low price searches. Even when I pick a case, it still gives me this bull crap. Oh, okay, right now the cheapest case on Newegg is this winner right here. $30. Oh my gosh. This is... Dude. When you want to talk about 0 centimeters and 0 inches of cable management on the rear panel, this is it right here. You literally have no room. Oh wait, you have the room via this thing. This is the room you have on that case. This little pocket that's protruding right here. Craig Tech, thank you for the super chat. So you upgraded from your 6700 XT, because I asked this question earlier. I don't know how long ago that was, but Craig Tech is answering saying got the open box 7900 XT at Micro Center for $684 plus tax. So you got a $900 graphics card, which can be found on Newegg right now for about $800, and you got it for under $700 open box. Very nice pickup. Joel says, oh, Joel, what is up? Gotta run. Have a good one. Hope you have a good one too, Joel. Sorry, I may have missed your messages earlier. But hope you have a good one. Your FIL. What is FIL? Friend-in-law? Fiance-in-law just climbed Everest base camp. What is FIL? Am I out of touch? FIL. Father-in-law. Duh. Why did I go to fiance? What? There's no such thing as a fiance-in-law or friend-in-law. What? For some reason, FIL, I did not think of father-in-law first. I might just be stupid, actually. I think I'm just dumb. I don't know why. I've never heard a father-in-law said like, or like, mentioned like that. So for some reason, it is like the last thing that came to my mind. I am dumb. Yeah, I have no... Dude. Mill, Sell, Fill, and Bill. I've never used those acronyms. I just usually spell it out when I talk about it. Or like when I'm typing or texting to someone. Okay. So we... Yo. So we've hit... To get like a legitimate case... That's not these open test benches. It looks like right now the price floor is $50. Now, you got this one with a $10 off, I guess. So that's $40. Look at this Asus ROG Z11 though. What is this thing? Is it the ITX case? Wait, what? Compatible with ATX power supply. This is an ITX. Yo, why is this so cheap? Are they Yo, is this like on clearance? This is normally $280 apparently. But right now it's going for $50. Yeah, a case like this definitely does not look like it should be going for $50. Hey, what's up, Shauner? Are you coming from soccer? What is it? League soccer? Club soccer? I was gonna say soccer practice. But I don't think it's like... You're not doing like college soccer or whatever. You're doing like a city league thing, right? Or like an intramural league type thing. It's been this price for a week. Huh. I mean, the only time I see this happen is usually when it's like pretty much phasing out. I wonder if this is just a temporary thing or they're just trying to do away with this. I mean, this is a pretty sick looking case. Yo, are those actually handles though? Wait, let me see. I'm trying to figure out if... No, these are feet. I don't think these are handle. I think these are feet. Where... So, no handles, it looks like. I was trying to look at, like, was there a strap? Because you know how Asus likes to put them straps on there. Oh, speaking of soccer, so I started watching Ted Lasso. I don't know who recommended it. Was it anybody in the stream? I know my brother recommended it to me, but someone else online might have recommended it to me as well, whether it was in Discord. I might have had multiple recommendations to watch Ted Lasso, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Yeah, I definitely do not watch soccer on a regular basis at all, and the show doesn't even have that much soccer in it, or football, but just talking about soccer right now remind me, because I literally started watching it earlier this week. Yeah. Oh, Kevin Go. Okay, so Kevin Go, you mentioned it. My brother had mentioned it. I thought it was you, Kevin. Okay, yeah. Does Digital Foundry touch on CUDA/Adobe in their 4070 review? Okay. Digital Foundry, I don't know why, but I typically don't watch Digital Foundry content for some reason. I'm trying to think of why. There was a time, probably closer back in like 2016, 2017-ish, where I watched more Digital Foundry stuff. But I don't know. It's just, I guess it's like the typical cycle of YouTube, right? You watch a channel for long enough, then eventually you kind of phase out. And then maybe, I guess you can go back and return. Maybe I should check out more Digital Foundry stuff. Dude, they do really good work. But yeah, there's just so many, there's only so much stuff you could watch, right? So as you find newer channels to watch, or you kind of develop like the base channels that you always watch, all the other stuff just kind of become either like noise, or you don't check them out unless they do something truly unique. But yeah, Digital Foundry, I don't even know what their reviews look like nowadays. Let me see. Like, I don't even know the format of their reviews. I have heard a lot of accusations though of Digital Foundry being quote unquote Nvidia shills. Having not watched their content as often these days, can anyone confirm or deny that? I think that came from, didn't Digital Foundry get paid by Nvidia to like showcase their graphics cards, or like some of their like features ahead of time? Which I think is totally fine, right? As long as they disclose, hey, we're sponsored and we're trying to just showcase this. We're sponsored by Nvidia to showcase some of their things. I think that's completely fine. It's when someone tries to pass off an unbiased review when they got paid under the table or something. That's when the issue is. But is Digital Foundry like Nvidia biased from what you guys know? Sprixie says, I gotta go see a nice video stream, by the way. Thank you for being here, and thanks for the support and watch. Anyone that says anything positive about Nvidia is called a shill these days by angry MD fanboys. Well, okay, let me look at... So, does Digital Foundry... Do they cover AMD cards is the question. Man, they cover so much stuff. So Digital Foundry, I think this is why I don't watch them as much. They do a lot of console stuff, and I don't watch as much console. Like, if you look here, holy crap. Dude, their streams are killing it. 153K views. Dude, wait, is this a live stream or is this like an uploaded after the fact stream? Digital Foundry Weekly. Does anyone know if these happen live, or do they pre-record it and then edit it and then post it? But for a long video that's like an hour plus long, 100k views, 140k views, their weekly directs. I mean, usually viewer retention on stuff that long is not that good, but for them to have this view count is crazy. They go live to archive. So do they not just show the live comments? Because normally you can like try to view live comments on the side alongside of it. Like if you go to any of my archive streams, you could see the real-time chat happening at the same time, but you can't see that here. So maybe they just disable the chat. Yeah, Roberto, that's what I thought too. I was like, did they have Paul on the... Oh, that's not Paul. Took me a second to see that was not Paul. But okay, so yeah, I mean, if you're trying to look for PC hardware, let's count. So we do have a 4070 review here. I'm definitely gonna check that out. Here's a piece ray tracing overdrive thing, more ray tracing overdrive. So then they have their live stream, Gran Turismo PS5, chat, AI stuff. Which I mean, AI is cool, but I don't watch like a ton of content on it. Witcher 3. So yeah, they do a lot of game analysis. I feel like more so than like hardware reviews. I mean, in all of these, they are definitely reviewing hardware because PS5 and Xbox is considered hardware. But yeah, so I think that's probably why I don't watch them as much as, say, a traditional PC tech channel. Paul from Alibaba. Okay, that's kind of a roast. Okay, so where's the AMD cards? Like 7900 XT 4 months ago. So yeah, they do have AMD stuff, but I guess AMD hasn't released anything since freaking what, December? Yeah, they haven't released anything for like 4 months now. Is there any AMD leaks? RX 7800 leak on Gamers Nexus 4 weeks ago. So it looks like AMD's on AMD side of things, it's pretty quiet. Like they're just chilling with their 7900 XT and yeah. Hey, what is up, Death Tech? Today's video sponsor spot was your Pride and Joy, the GPU buying program. So hopefully I did it justice, and hopefully I got some more views on it, which unfortunately review videos never do that well, you know, on embargo day when there's like 20 different options for people to watch. But hopefully over time the views pick up on that one. And Ernesto Garcia says, Nerd, what do you think about the NB7 case? What are my thoughts on the NB7 from Fantex? Okay, let's take a look at this. I think we already looked at this previously. Yeah, the NB7, that's the thing that has like that slant on it, right? So this is kind of the, let's just call it 011 dynamic inspired case. Where are the pictures? Because this thing was unique in that yeah, it had like that, where's this power supply or this cable routing system. I mean, I think nothing wrong with this case. It doesn't have anything particularly that like pulls me like towards wanting to buy it. But then again, I'm just not like typically a fan of standard ATX size case. I definitely gravitate towards micro and ITX size cases more so than standard mid towers. So I mean, it's cool that they are trying to do something more unique than other manufacturers, but yeah, so this is for all your routing to come out like kind of clean, right? Yeah, the P that case has been around for a while. That just seems like a lot of wasted space. Death Tech is a glutton for punishment. You have watched. Do you just put it on in the background while you test all the cards? Okay, Jason, you know how. Okay, I feel so. I have let so many other projects get in front of the LAN party videos. But I will tell you, not a day goes by where I don't think of, holy crap, I need to start working on the LAN party video. I mean, anyone who has been watching the LAN party series and follows it closely when I tweet and when we actually have LAN parties versus when the videos come out, anybody who has been watching the LAN party videos regularly know that the amount of time that I have taken to edit them has sometimes spanned 6 months. I've been a little bit better about it recently, but I'm starting to get back into that cycle of it taking forever for me to release a video. So I am still working. I mean, the LAN party videos are still like in the forefront of my mind. It's just when I get stuff like a last minute request to review the 4070, I mean, I jumped at it. I'm sorry. Like, I don't get that many offers to get to look at graphics cards ahead of time. So when it comes, I like move it to the top of the queue. But it will come. I hope the Texas LAN party video is coming first though, before the ones with the Washington LAN group. So hopefully people enjoy the Texas LAN video. It's gonna be different because it was over 5 days. So I hope viewership on that is just as good as any other normal LAN party video. Death Tech, I knew it. See, I called it. You watched all of them. Yo, okay, Death Tech. How many graphics cards do you still have on deck from the GPU buyback program? Do you have to test? Like, give me like a 20, 30. Have you worked through most of them so you have less than 10? I'm just curious. I think I saw on the Jawa Discord, like, did someone throw hate at the program? I saw the comment got deleted, but you responded to them saying like, the program is not for everybody. You got a shipment of around 15 today. Okay, probably over 20. Nice. I am glad to see the buyback program, like, you know, getting traction and seeing traffic. That's awesome. It is okay. We are an hour and a half into stream. We moved from talking about the 4070 to PC cases. So I'm gonna actually go away from the browser for a bit and look at chat, just because I want to show, you know, a good amount of attention to chat. We got Asian dude super chatted 35 bucks. Asian dude, you are very much appreciated. Thank you for that super chat. Also, why didn't you write a message and $35? It is a nice round number because it ends with a 5, but it is also kind of random. I'm not complaining, by the way. I'm just saying I'm very curious. $35. How was that number determined as opposed to like 20 or 15 or something else? Death Tech says he feels like a farmer, but my crop is GPUs. Hopefully all of them are in good working condition and they don't have issues when you do eventually resell them. Platinum says 4070 is the best value card right now. Jensen has blessed us with a $100 cheaper 3080 2.5 years later. Okay. So here's a question for you all. What would you say, assuming Nvidia did not just like stop manufacturing the 3080s at all, what do you think a fair price of the 3080 following the normal like price reduction of a typical product? What do you think a 3080 should cost right now? 2.5 years ago, it came out at $700. If it was still readily available and in stock, what do you think the price should be, you know, as you slowly taper off over time? Like, do you think the 3080 should realistically be $600 brand new right now, or do you think it should have even over 2.5 years reduced in price further than that? Platinum says 500 bucks. Yeah, I was thinking, I think 500 bucks was around like what it should have been, like, reasonably. We have seen bigger price reductions from other products. Like, take a look at the 6950 XT. That technically was $1,100. It's been what, a year and something? But what is the 6950 XT release date? 6950 XT came out not even a year ago, and it is already reduced from $1,100 to, what did we just see, $610. It's almost hit 50% price reduction. 530 at most, 30, 80, 500. So most people are jumping on the $500-ish train. GTX 380, 80, 350 bucks. You should be able to get a 3060 for $250. I definitely agree with that. Yeah. 6950 XT is a better value than the 4072. Value is relative, right? Rasterization performance is a big, I think it's a big chunk of a graphics card, but it is not the entirety of a graphics card. I would used to give people grief if they picked the Nvidia card over the, you know, over the just way better AMD card equivalent, but I don't think that is the case as much with the 4070 versus the 6950 XT. Oh my god, am I an Nvidia show now? Me saying that the 4070 actually isn't that bad of value compared to the AMD counterpart for the same price? When have I ever really said that in the last, I don't know, year, 2 years? Yeah, Shane Eslick says, yeah, value is determined by what features you use being better. Token Tech would jump at a 4070 if it were $500. Dude, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Everybody jumped at the 3070, except they couldn't really due to the pandemic and all. But a lot of people would jump at the 3070 at 500 bucks at the time it was released. So if they were able to keep the same price or, you know, the same tier of card, definitely people would have been more excited about it. But I still think 4070s are going to sell out. The 4070 Ti's, I don't remember if they sold out within the first couple of days. 4080s definitely did not sell out. But I think price is a big factor of it, right? Just not a lot of people have around $1,000+ I guess in the case of the 4070 Ti is 800 bucks, but not a lot of people have that much. $600 is a lot of money, but I think more people are willing to pay that if it just means getting them their first PC build, or, you know, it is just right at that line where people are willing to pay a little bit extra. Like people who have a $500 budget, I think they're gonna be like, screw it, I will pay the extra $100 just to get my build done right now, or I will pay the extra $100 just to get me off of this GTX 1070. You know, it is right at that perfect sweet spot where it is. I don't consider it a crazy, like, expensive graphics card. It is not cheap by any means, but it is within the realm of being affordable given the other current gen cards we have right now. Mega Man Neo X says, doesn't the GTX 4070 have a huge design flaw? What is the bad design flaw of it? Are you talking about the 12 gigabytes of VRAM? So I think, so I love hardware unboxed, right? But I think they overplay the VRAM issue. You got to look at what a card is designed for, and I don't think the 4070, like I stated in my video, the 4070 is not a 4K card. It is not a true 4K card because to get a good gaming experience, you have to run DLSS and stuff like that. So that's where I'm like, I consider the 4070 a 1440p, high refresh rate, high frame rate card. So in that case, I don't think the VRAM issue is that bad. I don't think it's a problem at all. Yeah, maybe on a select few titles, like what, Last of Us. I don't think it's that big of a problem in Hogwarts Legacy. So I think 12 gigabytes of VRAM. I mean, ideally, yeah, you always want more, but I don't think it's as big of a problem as people are making out to be. Jason Song says, then are you saying, yeah, I don't think the 3080 was a true 4K card, especially since you have to move the goalposts of what games are associated with, right? The 3080 when it came out, I'm sure, was Cyberpunk, did that release before or after the 3080? But Cyberpunk aside, because Cyberpunk was like an outlier, the games coming out now are more demanding, so it's different. Comparing a 2.5-year-old card with games that come out 2.5 years after the fact. But 3080, I would say that with DLSS, it was, yeah, considered a 4K gaming cable card. But that's a different definition. I don't like having to rely on DLSS or FSR or frames or resolution scaling and stuff like that to get a good gaming experience. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Shauna. 3080 is a 1440p. It's a very capable 1440p card that could run 4K if you asked it to, but I don't think you should go into it like saying, if you are a full-time like 4K gamer and you don't ever drop your resolution, you just always keep it at 4K, do not look at a 3080, do not look to a 4070 for that. I think if you have like a 4K monitor, I don't know, are people nowadays like pretty regularly running 4K like 144 hertz, or are most 4K gamers sticking to like, I don't know, only 75 hertz? I don't run 4K, so and I don't follow the monitor market that much because I know 4K high refresh rate was really expensive for a long time. So Platinum runs 4K 144 hertz, but you can run a lot of games at 4K at the time. You have an 80 in your HTPC, 1080p for 144 for you. Yeah, I think you would definitely need to look to at least like a 4080 or 7900 XT. Dude, DLSS and frame generation are kind of like cheat codes though. You can get higher frame rate out of them, but that's not true 4K, right? I mean, that's like also turning on going to 4K res, and in Rainbow Six that render scale having only at like 50% or something like that. Token tech, yeah, so a lot of people here seem to be 1440p high refresh rate, which means you are the target customer for the RTX 4070. Let's see, I think I missed a question. Death Tech says, Danny, random topic, but did you see the Z490 Aqua boards on Newegg? No, are they still there? Z490 Aqua. Are they still? Oh, 130. Wait, what is this shop? Dude. Okay. So I've only ever done one hardline, like loop. I guess you don't even have to do hardline if you buy this. You can do like sawtooth or whatever. But I don't think even like, I don't think I would ever want my own personal system to be custom water cooled because of how big of a hassle it is to have to drain the system if I wanted to take, you know, the GPU or CPU out of it. Like, you have to undo the loop, and then, I mean, I guess you can, you know, put a drain valve in it or whatever, and like reuse the coolant, but still, it's just like, it is such a hassle to move rigid tubing and stuff out of the way. I would never want to do it in my own personal system. I am perfectly okay with AIO performance. I will definitely appreciate the heck out of custom like loop systems and the like artistic ability and the like just the skill it takes to make a beautiful like custom loop system, but I would never willingly build this for a customer just because of the potential like, you know, troubleshooting and tech support I would have to pay for them, and I wouldn't even want to use this for my own system. Like, again, like I said, I don't like not being able to just poof, pop off the pump block and just replace the CPU, redo thermal paste, and things like that. But I mean, this is a freaking beautiful looking board for only 130 bucks. And yeah, so this is LGA 1200, so we're looking at what, 10th and 11th gen, which are still very capable CPUs. Dude, the RGB in it makes this look like really sweet. Would you recommend a 3070 Ti these days with only 8 gigabytes of VRAM? So the 30, what is that? We saw those were 550 bucks, or in the used market was around 400. Would you consider AMD? What is the power 3070 Ti power draw? 3070 Ti is 290 watts, okay. And if you look at something like 6600 XT power draw, that is 280, so they're about the same. With 8 gigabytes of VRAM, where are you coming from, Spartacus? If you're buying new, see, the used market makes it hard to recommend to people any new card, because obviously you take such a big price reduction being used that it pretty much makes it so that it's hard to recommend any new release product, because there's no new 4070 Ti's, no new 4070s and stuff like that in the used market. Robert says, do I think a 3060 Ti would be worth it for 1440p? Currently using a GTX 1080. Again, so if you are looking at cards like under 400 bucks, which I think the 3060 Ti, is that like 400 right now? If you are looking at stuff that is well under 600 bucks, because I think the 4070 is kind of capturing that spot right now, then I go back to my much stronger recommendations for AMD. When you are comparing last generation products of AMD versus NVIDIA, AMD is where the value is at. For a 3060 Ti is like, you can get a 6700 that's gonna absolutely beat this in almost every other way. Okay, so it looks like these are as low as 390. So yeah, that's 6700 XT territory. These are 8 gigabytes of VRAM. Death Tech says the cards that, wait, do people tell you, they tell you, how do you know if it's mined on? Is it because you find out that it has a flash BIOS, or do they just tell you, yeah, it was mined on? I don't think in the Jawa GPU buying program, the survey didn't ask about that, right? Woofer Inc. So, does the 4070 suck? The 4070 does not suck, in my opinion. I said it. I'm an NVIDIA show now. It does not suck. It fills the $600 GPU space as it should, I guess. NVIDIA did not give us any more or less than what the current like availability for GPUs is at its price point. NVIDIA didn't decide to throw us a bone and say, you know what, let's just save them some money and drop it at 550 or something. They were like, you know what, this card fits perfectly here, and we're gonna get every dollar we can get without them being able to call us extra greedy. When someone people still mining on 1070s up to recently. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That's true. Dude, 1070s, I mean, you guys, I know it takes, like, you know, there's overhead to you cleaning and stuff like that. But 1070s are still very relevant cards that, even after you guys apply your markup and stuff, I feel like 1070s still move, especially for budget builders. Death Tech says, as someone who has tested literally hundreds of mind on and not mind on cards, there's literally no difference. Yeah. You know what's funny, Kevin? I don't even recall the VRAM usage on Diablo. I was just looking at the RAM usage because it was so ridiculous. I don't even remember what the VRAM was being used on. Nemus Tech says, Dan, yeah, we actually took a look at that Nemus Tech. We looked at the 6950 XT at $600 earlier. Yep, it is definitely the alternative option to the 4070. Actually, are any of the graphics cards that... Have you guys already flipped some of the graphics cards that came in? So, like this 3080, was this one that was part of the buying program? 515, so pretty similar to eBay. 1650 Super for 105, 2070 Super for 240, 290 for 3060, 1070 Ti for 130. 1070 for 115. So yeah, these are all like, here's another, yo, Asus Strix 1070 for 105. Yeah, Jawa, at least the Sandcrawler account, has quite a few you know, good deals on GPUs right now. And it looks like you guys have been selling quite a bit. Holy crap. Wait, Death, is this all you? Is this... They're all the same checkered... wooden checkered backdrop. Is this all you? Platinum says, if Dead Space, Hogwarts, and even Resident Evil 4 Remake is having VRAM issues with the 10GB 3080, Platinum, are you referring to the, Okay, can I pick back up on this? Please tell me it was that... Come on, come on, come on. Honestly, that has never happened before. I think we're back. It has continued the stream. It did not start a new stream. I think we're back. Yeah. No, that was definitely not an AMD problem. That was just OBS for whatever reason crashing, which is totally unrelated. Like when AMD, if the graphics driver or whatever crashed, you'll get like the, do you want to send an error report to AMD? Yeah, that was just AMD, or not AMD. That was just OBS just locking up. Interesting. Yes, Jason Whitmer hacked Nobe to make it look like it was an AMD problem, just so that he could push his NVIDIA agenda. That's what you get for getting an AMD GPU. I would confidently put money on it that it was not a graphics card issue and more of like a program software issue on OBS's side. OBS, it's a free program, and it has its fair share of problems. Let's just say that. It's because you said the 4070 isn't bad. Exactly. AMD is listening, and they pulled the plug to my OBS. But anyways, okay, back to this right here. Crap. Why you do this? Okay. So here, I don't know if we we were watching this earlier, but okay. What are they doing here? Oh, I'm stupid. For some reason, I was thinking this was VRAM. This is just system memory. This is DRAM. I was like, how are they using the same graphics card? How do you just disable VRAM on your graphics card? So yeah, let's go find that hardware unbox video. VRAM. It should be like the first thing that pops up. 8 gigabytes versus 16 gigabytes. Okay. Okay, let's see. So, like, charts are cool and all, but they don't tell the full story. That's why when I do like my benchmarks, I like the side-by-sides. I'm glad Hardware Unboxed did a side-by-side on this one here. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a 3070 8 gigabyte versus the 16 gigabyte 6800, right? I guess we can't hear anything. The performance is lower as expected. 1% lows aren't anything too... Doesn't seem to be too bad. Hogwarts Legacy. Steve's not showing 1% lows. I could turn on the audio, but then
in the hills in the background, all dropping in quality on the RTX 3070, while the RX 6800 remains constant. And again, this is
okay, texture loading right there. Okay,
that's enabled.
Jeez, what settings he has as the ultra preset, high ray tracing. So I did not see that issue with the 12 gigs of VRAM, but wow. So this is using up to 14 on this side.
From a 720p image, and again,
this is using half of that. The best YT, the best, the best YT. I had worse time on Nvidia than AMD. You don't hear that too often, but I'm sure. And then yes, the same could be said for Nvidia. How expensive is it even to put more? Oh, so that's like a whole nother talking point, right? I'm sure if you gave consumers the option, like to be able to add more VRAM for how much it costs and the labor associated, most people probably would be willing to pay it. But let's see, RTX 3080 12 gigabyte. What was the release price? So the 12 gigabytes for 2 more gigabytes of video memory, it looks like the 3080, was it 770 at the time? So for $70, 10% more of the total cost of the graphics card for just a 2 gigabyte VRAM increase, not even like any of the other core specs seeing a dramatic change. Oh, this is at the lowest price. So it launched at more, right? This is just talking about a sale. Well, didn't the 12 gigabyte 3080 come out like in mid-pandemic? So it's hard to say what it should have been priced at if the pandemic didn't happen relative to the $700 version of itself, right? Yeah, okay, so $1,200, that definitely had pandemic like written all over it. I don't know how much it actually costs like these companies to put more VRAM in, but the question is, do they even want to give you more VRAM, or do they want to give it to you slowly for planned obsolescence, right? I don't know, man. That might be some tinfoil hat theory type stuff, but I don't know. Only Jensen and God knows, right? Jensen and whatever God he believes in, they are the only ones who truly know why they don't want to give more VRAM. DC Gunner says, hope you've been good, Nerd Budget. I have been good. Hope you have been good as well. Death Tech. I just saw your comment now. Could be worse. Could be Intel. Dude. Come on, man. Intel out here trying their best to, like, give us options in the mid-range entry-level market. Don't hate on Intel. I feel like Intel cards, they're slowly getting that fine wine treatment. And I never look at an Intel card and say, wow, that looks like a horrible value card. It's more of saying, wow, AMD just provides too good a value for Intel to currently compete. But as we get other generations of Intel dedicated graphics, I think my hope is that they catch up. Then maybe AMD and Intel can both team up and, you know, take on Nvidia. Jensen's god is Jensen. So he is his own god. He created an image of himself as a human. So that's kind of like, you know, God and Jesus, right? Jensen. Jesus son. Jesus son? Jensen? What is the price difference between the 8GB? Oh yeah, that's a good. I thought it was like $50. Arc A770. But we can double check just to make sure. It looks like a little bit more than. So 8GB, it's about $60. So yeah, $60. But I mean, these are two kind of like completely different. This is like, you know, the equivalent of a Founders Edition. This is add-in board partner. So let's actually look, now that we're talking about Intel graphics cards, Intel, their graphics cards are priced pretty competitively. They're just very new to the scene, so nobody cares too much about them. I care about them in terms of like me messing around with it, but I have yet to put the Intel graphics card in my main system. That might be my next thing that I do. I might just stick the A770 in my tower and see how long I can go without complaining about it. 8 versus 16. All right, let's take a look at some side-by-side performance. Has anyone made this video? Okay, here's the. You can't compare. Huh. I don't think there's any side-by-side comparisons, unfortunately. Oh, here we go. If this is real, I think this is real. This channel makes real benchmarks. It's not a fake one. Okay. Why is this quality so poop? Where's 1080p? Here we go. All right. So what is this game? Need for Speed Unbound. Where's the VRAM? VRAM. Does it? They don't really. Are they not showing their utilization? Why would you not show that? So you're looking at 47 versus 51 FPS. Not a big difference. But these might not be VRAM intensive titles. I don't know if it's a VRAM intensive title because they didn't put that on the overlay. So here we have, what is this? Modern Call of Duty Warzone 2. We're looking at 82 versus 86 FPS. Less than 10% difference. So what is that? This is at 1440p too. This is at 1440p. Ooh. RoboCop in Fortnite. Okay, where do they have Hogwarts? What is this? 4 months ago? Hogwarts wasn't out then. GTA 5. PUBG. So they didn't necessarily test VRAM intensive titles, unfortunately. Jagsta says, I think half of those channels are fake, laugh out loud. Yeah, I think more than half of the channels are fake. We've talked about this on stream before. I think channels like this, I think this one's real. But so I could easily find a fake channel though, super fast. This one came out 4 months ago. Okay, 4 months ago. So that's the issue. I think one of the clear signs of a fake channel is if they only use bar graphs and don't actually show. Whoa, actually, let's take a look at this. Let's take a closer look at this. They said that the 4070. Oh yeah, so they're not showing any clock speeds or anything. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely fake, obviously, because nobody had benchmark results for a 4070 back in November. Yeah, you know what? I hope I have shown enough proof that my channel is not fake. I think it would be pretty hard to fake my benchmarks. Plus, I've never released benchmarks of products that haven't been released yet. I have only shown results of stuff after they have, you know, come out, after embargoes and stuff. So that's one sign that my channel is not fake. Let's see. These channels, here we go. Here's what I would think is a fake channel. Someone who's just randomly putting these bar graphs that you can just lift off of another. Like, you can just lift these off of Gamers Nexus or Hardware Unboxed. But yeah. Oh, snaps. It is 7 p.m. alert. Alright. Enough of the browser. Last 5 to 10 minutes dedicated to just hanging out with chat. So... Platinum says, so Platinum was just talking about the 6000 series were pretty bad, but rasterization is nice price-wise. There's too much hardware with too many caveats. Yeah, I mean, people kind of have options though, right? I don't know. I think some of it just stems down to how picky of a person are you? For someone whose life, like a lot of my life and a lot of my free time revolves around computers and stuff, and I understand, like, you know, like the nuances of wanting particular things and wanting your PC a specific way. For my own personal system, I would have to say that I am a pretty unpicky person. You can give me an NVIDIA graphics card, you can give me an AMD graphics card. I mean, I put everything in my personal PC from a 3070 to a 6700 XT, down to a 6600 XT, now down to a 6600, and I think I'm going to throw the Intel Arc A770 in there. I think I could do that and not have a complaint in the world. Unless the graphics card all of a sudden crashes or messes with streams and stuff like that. But so long as it, you know, can play my games at decent FPS, and it can run these streams, I don't know, like, it all works. A Kidax says, will you or have you videos about making your PC build aesthetically pleasing, like for designers and such? I have a PC, but I find it very ugly, and I don't want to replace parts soon because of poor ideas. Okay, so if you've watched my channel for a while, you'll probably notice that I don't often spend that much money on aesthetics. I'll just use whatever is included in, like, a case, the included case fans. I rarely throw in custom cable combs unless I'm working on, like, a more really expensive project where, like, the 20 or 30 bucks is negligible. But, like, yeah, for me, simple works just fine. Just getting a standard modern day case that already probably is pre-populated with either black fans or RGB fans. Throwing in components that are pretty black and plain in color, maybe RGB on the RAM. And, you know, do a good job with cable management and pick parts that are appropriately sized. Like, don't put a micro ATX board in a full ATX tower, right? Like, put a standard ATX board into a mid-sized tower. If you just follow, like, basic rules like that, your PC should look pretty good already. And then you could spend a little bit extra on RGB fans and RAM and, like, specific graphics cards if you want. But yeah, I don't know. I don't find many PCs ugly unless they are like a Frankenstein of parts. Shauner says aesthetics PC. His ears like went up. Shauner says, I'm your dude if you're building a baller PC. Cable extensions are a huge addition for looks for $30. Color coordination is a huge thing. Yeah. So Shauner and like Zach and I think like Zach's whole Discord community, like they all are very much very like all on the aesthetic thing. For me, I'm just good with like pretty baseline aesthetics. Like all my builds are here. Let me see if I can. I don't have, man, I need to post more on Instagram. What the heck? That is not me. Yo, this is what came up when I looked up Nerd on a Budget. First of all, Nerd on a Budget got banned from Instagram for some reason. But this is Nerd Budget. Yo, this guy owns nerdonabudget.com. Is he the one who tried to sell? I got an email from someone trying to sell nerdonabudget.com. And I said, screw you. Go away. But apparently he owns this maybe. But anyways, I'm Nerd on a Budget 2 on Instagram. Okay. Like, okay. So this one I did some color coordination on, even though I didn't use cable extensions. What? I can't look at this without being logged on. But something like this. Like, it uses pretty standard parts. Didn't require any cable extensions. Didn't require too much coordination. It's just using standard black parts. I think this is a very good looking build. And yeah. It is nothing too special about it. Sure, it has like an AIO. I guess it has RGB fans, but I don't think it takes that much more effort to make a PC like this. And my mom built this one actually, with parts chosen by Corsair. So Platinum says non-RGB PC builds are the best builds. I do like myself some stealth black builds. Extreme Zone 987 says, Danny, have you tried live streaming with an art card yet? I have not. I think so. Even after the art cards came out and AV1 encoding was available for streaming, I think it was still in beta for OBS for the longest time. I saw Epas Vox make a video about it recently. I think I can fully use AV1 encoding now. I don't know if it's gonna make that much of a difference, really. Internet like data caps is not a problem in my area. Quality wise, I don't know if it's gonna get that much better because I already run it my bitrate pretty high. But I might do that and check that out next. So he wanted you to spend money just on a name for the website? How stupid of him. Your name even says you're on a budget. Yeah. Dude, sometimes I think companies see my channel name and they just completely don't reach out to me because they think I am like their product is too high priced or high class for my channel, like to feature on it. Oh, you're talking about stickers, cheap Amazon decorations, maybe some anime models in the case? Oh, I mean, I don't necessarily think that's what makes a PC case look better. If you want to customize a PC to your own like aesthetic, feel free. But like, I mean, besides cable extensions, color coordinating, like Sean already said, did I say Sean? Like Shauner already said, choosing like specific AIOs with a, you know, specific pump block aesthetic. I don't know. I'm not a person to sticker bomb or like to add a bunch of extra stuff. You can do the V1 Tech stuff. I mean, V1 Tech, that stuff, like it gives you a unique look to your graphics card. But yeah, all that's just extra money that could have been going towards your bills or something. You want it to have personality, yeah. I mean, if you want personality, I don't know, people like putting Funko Pops into their PCs. I have yet to do that. If you want your PC to have personality, you just need to pick a unique case that nobody uses. You need to pick like a very niche case. Like you want your PC to have personality, you need to get a PC case like this. I thought I was so cool when I had this PC case back in like 2016. You need something where you know for a fact like only a handful of people have have out there, because otherwise, yeah, I mean so many PCs look the same, even the color coordinated ones. Like it's a square box with either black and white with random color accents in it. You need to truly pick a unique case if you want it to be like unique. I don't know about you, but I don't spend time staring at my case. Mostly my eyes are on my monitor where the action usually is. Yeah, like let me show you. Yeah, I rarely look over at my case. It's in my peripheral. Jordan S says, good morning, mister. Where are you from to be saying good morning? All right, we're about 20 minutes past 7 p.m. my time. Okay. Thank you for the... To be honest with y'all, I am running on like 3 hours of sleep right now. I took a quick nap before stream because I was working on the 4070 review like up to the last minute. So, I almost slept through the stream had it not been for Melissa waking me up. I could have easily just knocked out for the next 5 hours, but I'm glad I was able to not miss stream and keep the streak going. And I was glad a lot of people tuned in today. We had a lot of good discussions, not only on the 4070, but a bunch of other random stuff, as always. So, yeah. I don't know what the next video is going to be. I need to get back to working on that FX like 8350 build, but I'm looking for an AM3 Plus motherboard still. People have told me that they would sell it to me on YouTube comments, but no one has actually sold it to me. So that's a thing. So yeah, we'll see what the next video is, but regardless of that, oh yeah, I can work on the LAN party video. That's what I need to probably do. But regardless of that, thank you as always for making this a fun stream. Hope you guys had fun. I will hope you guys have a great rest of the night, great rest of the week, and great weekend coming up. I will see you guys in the next stream, and there probably, because we released a video today on Wednesday, there probably won't be a video this weekend, but maybe sometime mid next week. But yeah, take it easy everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.